So just for the record, in terms of the personal aspect with Julius Malema, where does that sit now?
I think so if you were to go to the interview that we did in the when I was still in the EFF, and then he asked me the question, what is the relationship with the president of the EFF? I said this political relationship, actually made an emphasis on, it's a political relationship that we had. Yeah, and of course, because we work in the same spaces, we'll end up doing so many things together. If there's a family gathering, you'll get to know and then support each other and all of those things there. But the relationship was political relationship. And
that's interesting.
That is how it is. And I have no bad feelings about anyone, like generally. Leave the people that I work with. Generally, I don't have any personal feelings against anyone. Like I relate far much easier with comrades in the ANC. Like I talk to everyone. Like I'll talk to the comrades that we led with in the ANC. Like I talk to Andre Lungisa. I talked to Lebogang Maile for a very long time on the phone. I talked to Lamula, like about so many issues. I talked to everyone. Like I get to have political discussions with them, even if we're in different political organizations. I still talk to some of the comrades in the EFF, except those who feel like they might be doubted for having engagements with me. I generally don't have problems with anyone, but I'm able to distinguish that there's a political relationship and like so-called brotherhood and everything else. Because sometimes this so-called brotherhood, it's not brotherhood. It borders on gangsterism, a gangster relationship that we're together. If a person is wrong, we can't call each other to order. Like you defend each other even when a person is doing wrong things, is now venturing into wrong politics of being boastful and doing wrong things in public and everything else, and disrespecting people, and then you don't say anything because of brotherhood. You must be able to call out certain things that this is unacceptable and everything else. And if you realize that, so those things of the personal relationship can't override a political principle in the relations with everyone. So if a comrade misbehaves or does things which you realize that this is wrong, you must be able to call each other to order. Like it's not gangster relationship where you say we'll die together. It doesn't work like that. And by the way, this characterization, I used to say this when we were in the National Executive Committee of the ANC Youth League. So Pulemabe was the Treasurer General of the ANC Youth League. So I used to say to the president of the ANC Youth League now, current president of the EFF, that me and you are going to be buried next to each other. Wow. All the time. And then later on he went to engage in other activities, like to collaborate with those who were dealing with him. Now I used to say that, I'll never say that. I'll never. Like, if it's a political relationship, like you can't promise to die next to each other in a political relationship. It's based on principle.
Sure.
If principle shifts, then we no longer relate the same way that we related before. So if you realize that there's certain areas of just divergence from what should define a revolutionary, you must be able to say, but this is not what I signed up for. This is not the character which I thought we're dealing with. And I'm not talking about the contextual relationship now with the political partners in terms of the political work. We are brothers. It's like we're as if we're blood brothers. So there's never a time that the EFF will be distracted. So the opportunists, of course, they will try to give whatever.
I don't want to lie to you guys. This whole thing is very confusing. 1 minute Floyd says he loves Julius Malema as his blood brother. The next minute he says it was just a political relationship. Hello guys and welcome. This is The Coffee with Jay. I hope you guys are doing great. Now, with the whole Floyd Shivambu interview and how he seems to stick strongly to it is one thing that's aggravating the EFF supporters, to say that, but when you were with us, you never spoke like this. And now when you have crossed over is the minute that you've decided to start bashing us and saying that Julius acts like a gangster. Anyway, one person who chimed in on this was Sizwe Dlomo, says, one thing is for certain, Floyd has hurt the EFF. Whether they're ready to admit it or not, his departure attenuated them. They'll never be the same. It's the same thing that Zuma did to the ANC. Actually, I cannot agree more. Someone else said Julius Malema must thank his ancestors that they removed Floyd Shivambu from his circle, because the way Floyd is bitter, I believe he could help poison Julius Malema. We trust and live amongst our enemies. God is with you, Julius. You really dodged a bullet here. Now, I do think the reason that Floyd is speaking up like this is because he knows that he has a lot in his heart, and he's decided that this is the opportune time for him to start speaking up. He did say that he thinks that Julius is surrounded by a lot of bad influence, people who are not willing to tell him the truth, and is also not willing to welcome the truth. Of course, I do agree with Sizwe Dlomo that the EFF supporters do feel betrayed, and I really don't think that Floyd should be speaking this negatively. Yes, there might be bad blood between the two of them, but I don't think it was called for.
I told my son, if I die, you must contact Uncle Floyd so that you guys work together in consultation with your mother.